Liz Walker. I may have misspoken earlier. Liz, how's biz?
Hey, it's good. Thanks for having me.
I'm sure no one's made that fun. Yeah, Liz Walker. That is the name to remember. Hey, how's the market, Liz?
It is really good right now. Prices are really good. People are buying a lot of things, which is nice. That feeds right into the fact that if you have a ski in, ski out condo,
Yep.
put it on the market, because that is what everybody wants. I have 2 buyers right now that are ready to buy if
Really?
we can get a ski out condo, right on the trail, or an end unit.
Yep.
So if you're looking to list your condo and it is true ski out, it will be sold. And there's nothing really available like that right now.
Wow,
Through
just
any
like
of the
that.
agencies, yeah. So it's, Fall Line has some new condos that they just put in, which are pretty nice. But yeah, ski out condo, that's the hot thing right now. And if you have one, give me a call.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. If you want to sell, now's the time.
Yeah, now definitely is the time.
What's the best way to represent a seller, Liz?
Well, the biggest thing with a seller is you have a condo or you have a house that's for sale and you put it on the market with a broker. You want to know what's going on. We are busy, all of us brokers, and we do have a lot of listings and buyers and sellers that we're working with. But keeping in contact with the seller is huge, because even though we're marketing and we're working and doing all these things, the seller doesn't see that.
Right.
So keeping in contact with them with the activity that's happening on the condo or the house, where the hits are coming from, what state people are coming from to buy. It's just important information for a seller. It's, a 5-minute phone call or a 2-second email, and it helps the seller to just know that you are working for them
Right.
and that you do have activity going on. And don't get frustrated. Your property will sell. Activity is really for as not snowy as a winter as we've had.
Well put.
Yeah. Activity has actually been really well, and maybe that's why. Maybe people aren't skiing as much, so they're shopping some more for condos or houses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, when you say hits, most all of your business, do people still use the phone? Obviously you do, to contact buyers and
Right.
sellers to let them know, but do leads come in mostly through the internet?
A lot of leads do up here, because we do have so many second homes, second properties for people. So through the internet, a lot of people, whether they're Portland or Boston or whatever it is, because of the access that we have on the internet, you can search and see what's available. And we can all put 35 pictures of a property online, so you can basically tour the property from wherever you are, decide which properties you like, choose a broker, and then a lot of people come up and get the shotgun effect. They, pick out 10 properties that they want to see or whatever it is and make the appointments, and you look at them all in one day, one shot. Go look
Wow.
at all the properties. Yeah. So virtual tours is a good thing. I'm using drone photography, which is another really great thing.
Sure.
It really gives people a good idea, perspective of where the property is located, how close to the mountain, ski out, what the demographics are really for the property. So the marketing is huge for sellers, staying in touch with sellers, knowing what buyers want. The more active that a broker is in the market, selling things, showing things or whatever, the more you show, the more you realize what buyers are looking for and what is hot right now, because that does change. Sometimes people really want to be by the Sugar Tree Sports and Fitness Club because they want to have the pool and the hot tubs and that kind of stuff, and then maybe the Shipyard's got a great menu for the season or whatever it is, so people want to be closer to that because there's better activity. Bob Marley or whatever, I'm not
Right.
sure where he's been. Has he been at the Shipyard or has he been at the
Oh, he has.
Base Lodge? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it just depends on what's hot for the season, what's going on. But ski out is truly what everybody really wants.
That's the big hot button, but knowing all the hot buttons that the buyers want is
Right.
important.
Right.
How about if, what does it mean when you represent a buyer? We talked about seller. What does it mean when you represent a buyer?
Great question. A lot of people don't really seem to understand how real estate works, which makes sense. You see a property that's listed for sale and you call that agency and you want to go see that property. But in the state of Maine, you do have the right to be represented by a buyer broker, and that's any broker, like myself or whoever it may be, whoever you're comfortable with. You contact that broker and say, I want you to represent me. It doesn't cost you anything, because when a seller lists a property for sale, they list it with a commission, and that commission pays for the brokers. So you choose whichever broker you're comfortable with, and you just use that one broker. And it doesn't matter which company has the property listed for sale, that your buyer broker can show it to you, get you all the information on the property. You can either have a buyer broker or a transaction broker. And the difference between that is that a transaction broker doesn't actually represent you as a buyer. They don't do the work for you, finding deeds or getting the association fees or that kind of stuff. They would direct you as to where to get the information. A transaction broker gets paid the same as a buyer broker. So it makes sense. Why wouldn't you just be represented by a buyer broker? You would be covered by the broker's insurance. The broker has a lawyer in case something happens through the transaction or happens down the road after you've bought the property. You know, all of a sudden something fails in the property and you need to have it paid for, or you need to find out what you need to do to get it fixed. A buyer broker represents you fully, and it protects you as a buyer.
And it doesn't cost you anything.
And it doesn't cost you anything, right? Exactly. So it's choose the broker that you're comfortable with, choose the broker that you want to use, and just let them know which properties you want to see or what properties you're interested in. Or, you know, if you have a good buyer broker, you just say, hey, I'm looking for a log cabin in the middle of the woods, find it for me.
Right.
And your broker is supposed to be knowledgeable of the market and the surrounding properties, and here you go. Here's 5 properties that fit your criteria. This is exactly what you want. This is why. And being knowledgeable about the market is a huge difference between knowing condo fees and knowing maintenance costs and that kind of stuff on a condo, compared to being off mountain where you don't have condo fees or don't have those costs, but then you got to pay for plowing. Or maybe you're in an association like Hedgehog that has shared wells. And you got to know that those properties have shared wells, because if the water pump goes or something like that, who's going to pay for it?
Right.
Well, your buyer broker should be knowledgeable of that, and they should know this is a shared well. This is what happens if the pump goes, or whatever it may be. So you want to pick somebody that's knowledgeable about what they're doing and that has a good grip on the market and can direct you and help you to find exactly what you're looking for.
Sounds like there's many reasons to make that choice.
Yeah.
Stay with us, Liz. We'll be right back with Liz Walker talking about real estate and here in Sugarloaf and in the High Peaks region. So we'll be right back in just